He's Sir Nick Faldo, CBS Sports lead golf analyst, joining us from home after spending the weekend at Augusta. I was wondering about going into this tournament. Everybody talked about Tiger and the terrain there at Augusta. You know, those kind of majors are draining anyway, as you know, but
yeah.
How much do you think it was the stress of trying to compete in the Masters as opposed to the physical part of trying to compete in the Masters?
No, I think it was the physical. It was. That's what I was talking about. Obviously, he lives in Florida, plays in Florida. He played the father and son when he came on and off his cart, which I thought was impressive because, he was spending, a long time. It wasn't like he was disappearing. He would stay on the range to watch his son hit balls. So I thought that was a good sign. But then he talked about, getting the flexion of the foot. I mean, that was, and obviously Augusta is the toughest walk, especially the downhill. I mean, if you're fit and healthy, you'll get shin splints that week. You really will. And so anyway, bottom line, I would have gone there for like maybe 36 holes and done a real route march and boot camp and see if I can survive it. But I think he was secretly. So I spoke to him at Champions Dinner, and he was said he'd been working on the beach, which on the soft sand, which makes sense because your foot really has to move back. You'll really get up some stress factor or you're stressed. You're tested your motion as well as stamina. That's a real important thing. But I think considering, I was so impressed with it. I mean, again, I spoke to him and said, "So what's your pain level on 1 to 10?" And he went way higher. I went, "Wow, really?" He said, "More than 08?" He said, "Oh, playing on a broken leg was nothing." So compared to this, and he's in 24/7 pain. So you can imagine sleep and everything and that sort of thing. So I thought to do that would give him huge hope that, wow, I can basically walk any golf course now. And he played all right. It's interesting. I was just reading his own quotes about the putting on day 3, day 4. I think he was in pain addressing the putt. So I guess he was moving around trying to get rid of that, and that affected the stroke and everything. And that's why he missed a lot of putts. So if he can, and I've just heard he's committed to St Andrews right now. So that's. I mean, it's bottom line. That's all fantastic, isn't it? I mean, and I'm sure it's given him huge hope to think. And the other thing, again, in your mid-40s, whether you've been injured or not, just sustaining your mobility through the day, as we get older, once your hips get tight and your shoulders get tight, the swing doesn't, and he was able to keep that fluidity through the swing throughout the day. So he wanted a better result, but the physical test, I think he did brilliantly.
And St Andrews is perfect for him because that's flat.
Well, yeah, compared to Augusta, yeah. I mean, obviously you get a lot of twisting and this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you don't get the long climbs up. My goodness, there's a half a dozen holes which are heart attack hills out there as you when you get a bit older.
Well, I pointed out that 8 is straight up the hill.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 is straight down, 10 straight down, then you go back up. I mean, it's
absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. You climb up and with the leg walking down 6. I mean, 6 is like this off the tee. All the way. It's so, and obviously up the last few as well, up 17 and 18. So I think that, as I said, the physical, it can do it. He must feel really good that he knows how to look after it, and then he knows how to prepare.
How is life going to change for Scottie Scheffler to win a major at 25?
Well, I hear. I mean, I know him a little bit, but gleaning from other people is not going to change. This is probably the most level, easygoing guy out there. I mean, stardom is like, so what? I'm a golfer, and obviously he's going to make fortunes and this. Hey, sure, it's coming a mad rush. It's a bit like the pop stars. You're a nobody, and then you get an album that goes crazy, and then sure, in 4 months, it's like I went from playing golf, in a van, and now I can afford anything. So hey, he might that may change or whatever, but who knows? But as what I'm hearing from people, and I chat to him a little bit, he's a real down to earth guy.
Yeah, and there's, I know he was a great junior golfer and he was a pretty good college golfer, but what stands out? Like, there's nothing that you go, wow, with Scottie Scheffler, other than when he needed to have a shot, make a putt, he did it, which I don't know how you quantify that, but what is special about Scottie Scheffler?
Well, he delivers really well. I mean, he's a scrambling man. He spent, one of his, as a kid, he's just a bit like Jordan Spieth, very similar when Jordan Spieth was literally unbeatable. Great scrambler. So he's got amazing, his ability to just see the right shot, play the right shot, was fantastic. I mean, those, you cannot appreciate the severity of the pitch shots at Augusta. The shot is difficult, and in the back of your, right in the front of your mind, if it goes wrong, that golf ball goes off for wandering. It goes off 30, 40 feet away, and then that's another serious challenge from there. So, just fantastic with where, the drivers. It's very interesting. He really struggles with hitting the draw, but he's going to with his foot action. His feet leaping back and weak grip. So I was trying to express that, say how difficult that was, but if you can find a way to keep that fade going all day long, which he just about did, and he's got great. When you're playing great, I do remember that from moons ago. You have such a wonderful clear vision. You just look at the flag, and all you're concentrating on is how do I get it close to the flag? It's how do I work the ball to get it close? Sure, you see all the hazards, but they're kind of like a bit of a blur. They're there, you register, but your focus is so darn good. And of course, when you've hit a few sideways, doesn't take many in our game, then you suddenly, all the hazards are all crisp in focus and the flags are blur. You think, how the heck do I get it close? So he's in that wonderful mode where he's just, hey, there's my target, poof, and I hit it at it. Great.
Sir Nick Faldo, CBS Sports lead golf analyst. The spoiler alert before Rory hit the bunker shot. You got roughed up a little bit on social media there, Nick.
I did. That was I know it was a rookie mistake, but I'm sitting there right in there, and it just happened, and it was just off the charts. And so Jim's talking to me, asking me a question, and I know, and so when you hear the patrons roar, the crowd go nuts. You can't come back and go, let's look at Rory live out of the bunker at 18. Because it's now on tape, a split second on tape, and I just I got caught up in that for that split second. I said, I reacted and so you're right. I got it all wrong for a split second. I seriously was shaking because I thought Rory's going to win the green. I thought something could happen. He's trying to. We know the story, and he pulls off an impossible shot, and his reaction, and I'm sitting right in the middle of it. So I'm sorry, I blurted, I didn't actually say what happened. I said, oh my God. So, you won't believe what's happened or something. So yeah, spoiler alert. But hey, I guess rookie mistake, but gosh, when you're in it, you can tell I love it. I'm right in the mix of it, literally. And then he pulls off that. And I honestly thought for a second, because anything could happen. If he posts, I kept saying all day, if Rory could post, 8 under, and, and he could have won. It's very easy for Scottie to hit in the trees and be stymied behind a tree and has to chip out and makes a mess. So, as you're up there doing live golf. I've been up there for 18 odd years now. So that was my first cock up.
Well, you also have when you're at Augusta and you hear the roars that we know if we're watching, the 10th green.
Yeah, so something
just happened, and then you're going to go to it, and then you have to act like you didn't know what happened.
That's what I agree. we're in this world with television where I feel you have to be truthful. You can't cut to something and somebody's chipped in and it's going in. Salashai, our producer, they do an unbelievable job to show us live golf. But obviously when you're following, it's not like we are such a difficult sport because we're not following one ball, are we, or anything. We've got one guy putting for the lead, and there's probably 3 other guys putting or chipping on other holes at the exact same time. So something's got to go on tape. I mean, it has to.
But how many monitors do you get to see when you're with?
No, I don't see. No, I don't. I see what you see. I see what I don't. I have nothing. I have no heads up on anything. I call exactly what you see at television at home. I have one monitor. That's it. So we get fed in our ear going to 14 or going to da-da-da, and boof up pops a picture and off we go. So,
but you're on 18, so you saw Rory right in front of you.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'm sitting at 18 and right there, and I'm up in my little tower, and Rory's down there, and so I just peep out, and you go, and I've got Jim talking in one ear, and da-da-da, and that happens. I'm like, holy crap, you won't believe. Oops. So, so all the knuckleheads gave me a rough ride, but, as we say, their mums were probably saying to me, "Are you still up? I told you to go to bed."
It's always great to talk to you. When's your next event?
Oh, next week. Well, this week I'm up at Hilton Head.
Oh, okay. Days. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we're back in the saddle again. At least Hilton has a lovely chill. It's nice. Get a little condominium by the harbour, and I can watch the rich and famous go by in their boats and that sort of thing. And so it's a nice. Yeah, I need a de-stressing day today. The puppies are hopefully coming soon, so they get a lot of love. So that'll be my day, and unpacking and all the usual.
But you're allowed to say stuff. Crowd now and fans now. Now you can go back to normal.
Yeah, go, but yes, go back to yes, rowdy, whatever they are, uncouth, unwatched, all those sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, safe travels, and thanks as always, Nick. We appreciate it.
All right, good to talk to you.
That's Sir Nick Faldo, CBS Sports lead golf analyst.